Israel Allen here, Director of Education. Welcome to another episode of Coach's Corner, where we are talking about retaining clients. So, this is the summer months, which for many trainers tend to be a dry, hot desert when it comes to training sessions. Clients are leaving, they're going on vacation, they're at a point where maybe they've been training really hard to get in shape for the summer, and now they've met their goal, and now it's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna go show it off. But I got a bunch of vacations, and I can't, afford both training and, trip to Bora Bora, right? So how do we retain clients, and how do you overcome some of those common some of those common things that happen around the summer months. So let's dive into that. So keeping your PT business thriving in summer takes a little different skill set and a little outside the box thinking than maybe it did in January, right? So we either die or we pivot and adjust, right? And so for everyone that's watching this call, you guys are best of the best anyway, and so you're already kind of thinking, hey, how do I stay a cut above the rest, right? So this is really going to help you guys to reinforce A, maybe things that you're already doing, or B, things that you hadn't thought about that are just kind of trade secrets, so to speak. And so when we think about summer, one of the big things that comes to mind is school's out. All right, school's out, which means if you train stay-at-home moms, their obligations are different now. All right, they don't have that 8 hour window of time that they maybe did before, and so adjusting that to accommodate them without um, you know inconveniencing your typical 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever, right? So how do we do all that? So first of all is communication is key, right? So before I even get into the summer months, I need to just have the conversations, right? So, hey, we're making really good progress, Jenny. I'm seeing amazing results, but I know that summer's coming up, and I know that there's going to be some things that are pulling at you and pulling at our results together, right? And so I wanted to sit down and really put our heads together and figure out the best possible program for you going into the summer that's really going to allow you to continue to get the results that you've been seeing. All right, so something like that. Take it, make it your own. Some considerations that you need to bring up that your client may not even be thinking about until later on. Vacations. So ask them directly, do you have any vacations planned? Whether it's a weekend getaway or a bbig getaway. Things that not only you can train like inside the summer for, right? So if they got a trip at the end of the summer, hey, can we do a 2 month kind of crash competition to really get you throttled? Or is it just something they're going to be off for a couple of weeks? I need to consider that around the frequency of how often I see them before they leave and when they come back, so they're not missing a beat, right? So that could be it. Holidays like 4th of July, typically people are going to eat too much and going to be out of town or things like that. So I just need to be able to game plan for those things ahead of time, right? So that my clients looking to me to help them walk through that process and be the ultimate health and fitness planner for them, right? That's why they're paying me. I'm not sitting back expecting them to just tell me and hopefully it works out, right? The typical things around doctor's appointments, things like that. A lot of times people will wait till the summer to schedule all those appointments for their kiddos because they don't want their kids missing school, right? So if they can wait to do some of those visits, things like that, then they'll typically wait to the summer to catch up on some of that stuff. And even for them, they've been really busy and they've just kind of been putting it off. So sometimes they'll wait till the summer months to do those. And so just factor those in, ask those. Club meetings, so there may be specific club meetings at your location, special events, things like that. You just got to factor those things in with your summer scheduling. So again, it's not messing up your clientele and scheduling them and creating an inconvenience for them. Um, maybe the client is now coming back to you and took a few months off, and now they're kind of like, hey, I got some free time in the summer, and I want this time slot. And you're like, I filled that time slot a long time ago. Being able to be flexible and saying, hey, what, I could get you at this time temporarily because I know this is the time slot that you want, and then we'll ease you back into that time slot. So that way it's not a, hey, I'll call you when I have the time slot open. No, get the foot in the door, get them started, get them going, get them that session with you, whether it's at an early Saturday morning or an early morning one day where they can slip out of the house and the kids are still sleeping until 2 p.m. because that's what we do in summertime, right? So little things like that, just be creative. Um, clients leaving your schedule and possible openings. That's another thing is that, hey, if they're leaving, you need to call it, right? So if they have already told you, hey, I'm not going to re-sign, and they're not salvageable, they've met their goal, they've been on maintenance, and they just want to take the summer off, we need to have those kind of candid conversations because we don't want to turn away another client thinking that we have this client still there, where if we would have had the conversation, we would know that that client, that time slot's going to open up in the next, whatever, 2 to 3 weeks. And so just being able to forecast and foresee any possible openings so that you know how to segue and basically bring on new people that may want that time slot. And then re-sign some commitments. Again, having some candid conversations in the summer months on anyone that is kind of behind their goals is really important. I'll just tell you, if a client is set for 8 pounds a month and they have consistently gotten 2 pounds a month, but they're telling you, oh man, I love it, I'm ready to re-sign, you need to be smart, right? So the analogy is kind of like this, right? Like you're driving a car that you bought, but you're paying month to month lease, right? And that car isn't driving like it used to. And it's not getting near the gas mileage that you said it was going to get, right? You told me it was going to get 25 miles a gallon, it's getting 6, right? How long is it going to take for you to go back to the dealer and be like, hey, this is a month to month lease? Yeah, I need to trade in, right? Probably not very long, right? You're going to realize that real quick. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. You could say, you know what, I could have probably done some things. Maybe I could have changed the gas. Maybe I could have done this, or it doesn't matter. Ultimately, you're paying, your client is paying to get results. And so if you haven't taken a clear inventory of every single one of your clients, it's a great exercise to do. List every single one of your clients' names, open up their client folder, and look at the past 90 days of their results, okay? What did you set as a goal for that month? What did they get as the goal that month, right? And then you can pretty much circle all the ones that are off target and star all the ones that are on target. For the ones that you star that have been on target, have met or exceeded goals month in, month out, those are pretty good prospects for referrals, right? So to have the conversation around how you can invite friends, family members to that party because it's the best party in the world because they're getting amazing results. Versus I probably wouldn't have that conversation with people that aren't getting very good results. So for those people that aren't getting very good results, the first thing I would do is I would Kaizen them, right? I would get that Kaizen 6, and I would absolutely ask them the things that could be improved before it's too late. And again, not that you wouldn't do that for your clients that are getting amazing results because you want to continue that. You'd do that in addition to that. I'm just saying, if you're looking at like how to divide and conquer, I'd really look at how to set new goals, right? And forecast those goals with your client, have those conversations with the ones that are meeting and exceeding their goals, and the ones that aren't, you need to pause for the cause and figure out why we're not getting those results, and then bend over backwards to essentially get those results for your clients. Otherwise, it's probably a sleeping giant and they're probably halfway on their way out. So just consider those things. Communication is key. As always, fail to plan to fail. You have got to plan out what you want your summer months to look like. And so paint that picture on it. Here could be a really good guide for many of you. So this would be like the ideal training schedule for like a top tier professional, right? Where you have a block in the morning, a block in the evening. That's usually how we work as trainers, right? We work when other people don't. Now, this is going to change a little bit in the summer months, right? Because you may have some people that were teachers and now they have off, right? Moms that now their kids are out, they may need a different time slot. They may need a 9 a.m. or an 8 a.m. or a 7 a.m. because their kids are waking up later and they need to, then it's all hands on deck once their kids get up, right? Because it's activities and structure and family outings and movies and who knows what, right? So again, we've got to meet the client where they need to be met and not expecting them to meet us where we need to be met. So I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute because a lot of times we do that. I don't know if it's because we think we're God's gift of training and they should just figure it out and show up for us, or we just, maybe, forget that we're working for them. They're the boss, and so we need to be able to work the schedule that they need within balance, right? So if you look at the schedule here, you're going to see a 6 to 10 block that should be either training or orientations, right? Orientations being ways that you build your business. It could be a referral, it could be someone from the gym, it could be someone that you've been talking to on Facebook, trying to get them to come in. But 6 to 10 is usually a pretty good time to do that. 10 to 11, those are usually pretty good times. Again, summer months may change this. You may have a lot of people that want to come at 10 a.m. So you've got to know your demographic. You've got to know where you're at, what time people want, to train, because they'll tell that. They'll set the standard. They'll set the tone as far as here's when I want to train. But that typically is a pretty good time for programming and client records, or a great opportunity because people are up and about for prospecting and follow-up. Right, so great time to get people on the phone for follow-up. Great time to start working the floor in the gym for some prospecting. Again, every gym is going to be a little different, but these are just kind of the most common alternatives for time blocking these skills. 3 to 4, again, before prime time, before most of the people have got off from work and are now in the gym. Great time again for prospecting, whether it's in the gym or again reaching out to missed orientations, things like that over the phone. That's all prospecting. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the floor, but it can be. It can also be members that are checking in, right? So members that are checking into the gym at the front desk, taking them on a 20-minute complimentary workout. That's a form of prospecting, all right? And then programming client records. And what we like to do is we like to kind of alternate those, like one day offense, the other day defense. One day offense, the other day defense. That way you don't get into too defensive mode where all you're doing is client programs and you're not actually bringing on any clients, right? So we want to have a little bit of back and forth with that. And then lastly, again, we sew it up with training and orientation. Again, now it's prime time. This is when most people that work 8 to 5 jobs are available, and when they want to train and when they want to come in for an orientation. So again, we got to strike while the iron's hot. So hopefully this schedule makes sense. Again, if you're a trainer, we work when a lot of people don't. And so this may look like a lot of hours, but this is what we signed up for. Again, you'll notice that it comes with some amazing things as far as, not having to work a ton of time on Fridays, and you get a lot of the afternoons off, and little things like that. And again, you get to change the world, right? And so it's a pretty cool gig. What I can tell you is the most successful trainers, not only are they hard workers, but they're smart workers, and they love what they do, and they love it even more because they're making great money at it. Right. So if you're one of those, you see this schedule as an opportunity, not as a, oh my gosh, I'm actually going to have to work. If you're not, then hey, take the meat and leave the bones. Apply where you can for your demands and your schedule and your needs, for the money you want to make and the impact you want to make. Helps you. Again, on our retaining client segment for our summer months. But again, if you have any questions whatsoever, definitely comment below on our YouTube channel, or you can hit us up on Facebook. Again, we are here to help you. We are here to coach you along in this journey. You're not alone. That is what we stand for. That's our mission, is to help you have the tools to become successful faster. So signing off, Israel Allen. We'll see you next time for Coach's Corner.